In order to access the Enter Grades page, you'll want to access your course and go to the Assessments tab, then choose Grades. From here, you'll choose the Enter Grades tab at the top of the page. On the Enter Grades page, you have several different options for entering grades. At the top, you'll notice there's an Import option and an Export option. Using these buttons, you can either import your grades from a CSV file or an Excel file, or you can export your grades to a CSV or Excel file. When you access the Import button, you'll notice that there's a sample file for you. When you open this, the file that you want to create to import your grades, you'll want to format in the same way as the sample file. So you'll want your columns to line up the same way, similar titles, and so on. It needs to be imported as a CSV or TXT file, but you can create it in Excel. Using Excel, you can create a spreadsheet, and in the Save options, you can choose CSV. After you've created your file, you can choose the Browse button, import the file here, and continue through the steps. If your file has any issues or your grades are not importing successfully, you'll notice that it'll give you an error pointing out where you went wrong with the file. I'm going to cancel to return to the Enter Grades page. On this page, as you scroll down, you'll notice that all of your students are listed in a spreadsheet form. The students are on the left, organized by their last name. You can also choose to organize them by first name. And going across to the right, the top cell here will give us the categories for our gradebook. So we have a final grades area, and then going to the right, we have a quizzes category, exams, and so on going across. The cells just below that give the grade items. So within the quizzes category, we can see that we have quiz 1, quiz 2, quiz 3, and so on. The final grades will be calculated between all of the categories and all of the items and appear in the column all the way to the left. There are multiple ways to input grades, one being the Import button, which we saw a minute ago. And additionally, you can choose to switch to a spreadsheet view using the button in the upper right. When I select Spreadsheet View, you'll notice that my cells become active and I can type grades directly into these boxes. So if I wanted to award students points, I could go through and fill out their grades just like this. After entering the grades, I can click Save, and the grades will be registered in my gradebook. You'll notice now it is calculating the student's grades in the final grade column. Switching back to standard view, we can take another look at this. I can also go in and choose a specific assignment. Here I can select the drop-down arrow and choose to enter grades just for quiz 1. Here it'll give me a list of my students and cells where I can enter in their grades. I can go through awarding students the appropriate grade for their assignments. After I finish doing so, I can also select to give them feedback and further information. And once I'm finished, I can click Save. And now when I return to the Enter Grades page, you'll see I have more information put in for these students under quiz 1. These are some of the common ways to enter grades manually. Again, if you don't want to enter them manually into this gradebook, importing is an option. Keep in mind that we've seen throughout the lessons how to link grades to our content items. So things like Dropboxes can also be graded from the Dropbox, which you'll see more about in the text files. Quizzes can also be linked to grade items, and in that case, depending on the quiz questions you've used, if it's graded by the system, they can filter into the gradebook automatically, so you wouldn't need to enter those manually. If you had something like essay questions on a quiz, then you would need to go through and actually grade those question types. For more information, check out the text file where you can go through and see screen captures and further information on entering grades.